We use money all the time, but we rarely think about how it's made, how dollars are precisely printed, how the European currency is protected, and what innovations have been made in money printing in recent years. In this video, you'll learn all the details about money production and related facts. The US dollar is the most well-known and important currency in the world. You've all had these bills with images of US presidents and political figures in your hands, and most of you have used dollars more than once to buy something abroad or in your country. An interesting fact, the average lifespan of a $1 bill is about 22 months. But how does this bill come to life? First and foremost, dollars are born at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing in the USA, which is part of the US Department of the Treasury. This bureau, founded in 1862 and located in Washington, D.C., is the largest producer of government security documents in the U.S. The production of dollars starts with engraving on steel plates by skilled artisans. This is a crucial and time-consuming step because the quality of the engraving determines the level of protection against counterfeiting. Once the engraving is ready, special paper must be made. Bills are printed on a specialized paper forged with synthetic fibers composed of 25% linen thread and 75% cotton thread. Bills made from this paper have an inner layer that is virtually impossible to counterfeit. Watermarks on dollars are obtained when fibers are pulled from this layer in a specific order. Additionally, a security strip is applied to the paper. After that, the paper is dried under a press and rolled up. At this stage, the paper already has watermarks and security threads. The rolls are received and unwound. It's time to apply ink to the paper. Except for the image of the Federal Reserve seal and the numerical and alphabetical code on the bill, the images and inscriptions on the front of the bills are printed with black ink that has magnetic properties. Once the ink has dried and the bill design sheets are ready, they are scanned for defects. In the next stage, after checking the sheets, they are assigned serial numbers and Federal Reserve designations. In the workshop where the money reaches its final stage, the sheets are finally cut. After that, they are counted and packaged. They are now ready to be sent to the Federal Reserve Bank, from where they are distributed to various banks in the US and around the world. The euro is a widely accepted currency. The primary European currency has high cash value, beautiful bills, and interesting features. For example, by picking a random euro bill, you can determine which country it was produced for. Each country in the Eurozone places a letter in front of the serial number. For instance, X is for Germany, V is for Spain, N is for Austria, and so on. Euro bills are issued by the decision of the European Central Bank. The bills are printed on cotton fiber paper, which extends the life of the bills and makes them more difficult to counterfeit. These bills have a distinct texture compared to regular paper. The main images on the front of the bills are created through intaglio printing. The digital denomination marking in the lower left corner is done with two-color intaglio. The back of the bills is printed through offset printing, and the serial numbers are done immediately with high print. The central part of the bills has a hidden security thread. When you hold a bill to the light, this thread will appear as a dark stripe in the clear text, repeating euro and the numerical denomination. Other security features of euro bills include watermarks, microtext, holographic images, and patterned strokes. Euro bills are literally packed with all sorts of security features, making the euro one of the most secure currencies in the world. The British pound sterling. Many people believe the world's most expensive currency is the pound. £1 is approximately equal to $1.36. However, the world's most expensive currency is actually the Kuwaiti dinar, which is approximately 2.5 times more valuable than the pound. Nonetheless, let's take a look at the pound because it's better known, more interesting, and we've all heard of it. The production of the British pound is approximately the same as that of dollars and euros, creating special paper, applying protective symbols and inks, cutting rolls into bills, checking for defects, and more. All these stages are applied to pounds, but what's interesting is that the pound sterling is not made of just paper. A few years ago, polymer production was introduced, and now there are polymer bills of 5, 20, and 50 pounds in circulation. But why did they change the bills in the first place? The reason is simple. Polymer bills last twice as long as paper currency. They are more difficult to tear, and they can withstand temperatures of up to 120 degrees Celsius, designed to repel dirt and moisture, and most importantly, these bills are much harder to counterfeit. These bills are manufactured based on a biaxially oriented polypropylene film. The production of polymer bills is done layer by layer, meaning different materials are placed in layers on top of each other until the desired banknote is produced. This distinguishes the production of polymer bills from many other currency productions worldwide. By the way, did you know that the British pound is one of the few national currencies that has retained its name to this day? Historians believe that the name appeared in the 12th century and originally means a pound of pure silver. The Russian ruble is not far behind. This is the second oldest national currency that has retained its name to this day. Despite the fact that Russian rubles are issued by the Central Bank of Russia, the banknotes are not produced by the central bank but by the joint stock company in Goznak. The paper for the production of Russian rubles is not ordinary. Like in the case of other banknotes, they have a special composition that includes elements, watermarks, textile fibers, and polymer threads. The material has a high level of resistance to moisture, abrasion, light, and other protective qualities. Additionally, a special solution is added to the paper that is visible only under ultraviolet light. Once the paper is in the machine, ink and images must be applied. After this step, uncut sheets are sent to the on-site print shop for further processing. After that, the money is counted by the machine and packaged. Bills are sent to travel throughout the country and beyond. Now let's stop thinking about paper money and take a look at coins. Everyone has seen ridges on the edges of coins, right? Did you know they were created by the famous physicist Isaac Newton? He suggested using these ridges to combat counterfeiters. Counterfeiters used to trim the edges of coins to collect precious metal for making fake coins. The ridges were a brilliant solution to this problem because they made it easy to spot tampering. If the ridges were intact, the coin was authentic, helping to protect the treasury from losses. Double Eagle is the name of the most expensive coin in the world, and I'm not referring to its face value. Its face value is only $20, but it can be worth billions of dollars. The reason is that there are very few Double Eagles left, and they were minted a long time ago, from 1849 to 1933. That's why they're so valuable. You remember I mentioned that a $1 bill has an average lifespan of about 22 months. The same can be said for almost any other bill. Paper currency is not durable. On average, it passes through the hands of 30,000 to 50,000 people before it eventually wears out. What happens to the bill next? They are destroyed in special workshops. For example, in Russia, they destroy 600 million worthless rubles every day, while the Federal Reserve Bank of New York destroys over $35 million in spent bills daily. And everyone has heard of a term called inflation. Many people complain about inflation, but believe me, it's not as bad these days when compared to some historical cases. For example, Germany went through a tough time after World War I. The war devastated the German economy, and at that time, the inflation rate reached 3 million% per month. Money had depreciated to the point that people used it instead of wallpaper because it was cheaper, and in Zimbabwe, inflation and denomination were much worse. At one point, the situation was so dire that literally everyone in the country was a billionaire. In 2008 to 2009, Zimbabwe's inflation rate was approximately 230 million%. A single can of beer cost 100 billion Zimbabwean dollars. At that time, the country even issued the highest denomination bill in history, 100 trillion Zimbabwean dollars. Since we talked about money, let me know in the comments what you would do if you became a billionaire or a trillionaire. And if you want to know how tequila is made, watch the video on your screen. And please like the video if you enjoyed it and share it with someone who might be interested. Also, subscribe to this channel by activating the notifications to continue learning. Thanks for watching.